I want to talk about something today that might not be obvious at first, but it's something I know I've struggled with, and I think I've seen a lot of other people deal with it too. And it's the idea of working too hard. Now, that might come as a shock to you up front, but let me explain. The concept of working too hard, what I mean by that is spending too much time on something that might not have the best results. For example, you've probably seen a lot of different projects out there from other people, or maybe it's stuff that you've done yourself, and you look at it and you go, man, there was a lot of work that went into that. It was very technical. The skills that they needed to produce that were really high, really demanding. It probably spent 40, 80, 120 hours just to do that one thing. And at the end of it, you're looking at it and you're like, but it's not really that good. You know, it just doesn't look the way you would make it or the way someone else might want to see it. And I think this is a problem that a lot of people have, because when you're focused on your own work so much, it's kind of hard to see where that end result is going to be. And you might spend a lot of time on one particular thing, working on it day after day after day, just to make something in the end that really isn't that good. And what I would encourage you to do is, if you're working on something, you're spending a lot of time, you know it's going to be a huge project, really spend more time up front determining what that's going to look like in the end, so that you can make sure that all the time and energy you're going to spend on it is worth it. Because like I said, there's so many different projects out there that, you know, someone might ask you, I want to do this really complicated project and spend all this time doing this one thing. And in the end, it might just not be good. It might not be right. Sometimes the simplest answer is the best answer. You know, simple, clean, elegant, you know, that's kind of popular right now, and for good reason. It looks really nice. Something simple can oftentimes be better than something that's complex. Even though the complex thing was harder to do and took more time, the simple thing might be better. So be careful that you're not working too hard on things and wasting time. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be a hard worker. Not by any stretch of the imagination. I think you should be working hard on everything you do, but don't work too hard on something. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below. I'm happy to answer them and clarify anything I've said. I just really want to stress the fact of just being careful that you're not burning time and energy on something that might not be worth it in the end, when at the end of the day it just doesn't look good. You know what I'm talking about. You see it all the time. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. Happy to answer them. But hopefully that steers you on a little bit of a path of making better decisions and not overthinking everything, because I know I'm guilty of that sometimes, and I have to pull myself out of it and say, hey, make it simple, make it clean, make it easy, and that might ultimately be better. And then you can look at that and say, is it better? Because if it's not, then you can start adding more and making it more complex. But just be careful of starting on something really complex and complicated, because it might not turn out the way you want.